Hi there, everybody. Fabulous, faithful Friday. Theresa Vigarino here. I know I haven't been on these past few days. This wedding planning has just taken on a new life of its own, and we were out of reception during the time that I was supposed to do my live. So here I am back at it, and with a good message for you today. I was thinking, what could I possibly talk about today that would be really helpful to someone who's going through possibly a divorce or a breakup or a business partnership that didn't work out, or financial troubles, or you've lost your job, or you've lost a loved one. A lot of times when we go through grief or loss, we tend to feel victimized by that grief or that loss or that change or the trauma that we experience here as human beings on earth. And I know that I used to feel this way too. Hi, Rhonda Bird. So good to see you here, darling. And one of the things that we do oftentimes is we place blame on the Creator, on God, whatever you want to call the Supreme Being. I call God because it's just the way I was raised. But many of us tend to feel victim to circumstance. Many of us feel that when things don't work out with us, that God had something to do with that. We end up giving so much power, personal power, away when we forget that most relationships that we've gotten into, all relationships we've gotten into, where we are in life, a lot of things that happen to us is because of our own choices and decisions. Now, not everything that happens on earth is a choice or a decision. Sometimes things happen that we'll never understand until we're on the other side, and that's where faith comes in, that you know that everything is working for good. But I remember particularly in relationships that didn't work out for me, that I was angry at God. Like, why did you let this happen to me? Why did you not protect me from this? If it was abuse or a serious betrayal or a trauma from the other person, I tended to feel victimized by that relationship, by that circumstance. And it was brought to my attention by my local priest, Father Oliver, who all the Tahoe people know this man. He's quite the character. He will be marrying us, and we will be Facebook Living the ceremony, so you'll get to see him firsthand. That he said, Theresa, God had nothing to do with it when you picked this person. It was your own decision. And it was then that I realized, and it was a real hard pill to swallow, it was then when I realized I was really in charge of the relationships I got myself into. And so that's what I'm going to focus on right now. When someone passes into the next life, that we don't get to decide when that happens normally. But hi, Jackie. But when we go through a relationship disappointment, we have to remember that it's not God's fault when somebody chooses to behave in a certain way and who we choose to have in our life, whether that's intimate friendships, intimate partners, friendships, business relationships, acquaintances, that's up to us. And so when you take God out of the equation and you put the responsibility back on yourself, you're not in that victim mentality anymore. And when you elevate your awareness and your consciousness about your own life out of feeling victimized, the power, personal power that you have to deliberately create is tenfold. And what ends up happening is you have less things being attracted to you that will still create that victim mentality and those feelings of feeling victimized. I'm not saying I don't ever feel that way anymore, but it's very, very rare. I do look at whatever happens in my life and I look at my part in it. I take responsibility for the people I allow in my life and the people that I don't. I take responsibility for the issues that I have in my relationships and the ones that I don't. So when you take it back onto yourself and you leave God out of it, and you realize that we are where we are in life largely because of our personal decisions, choices that most of the time have been unconscious to us. And I'm here to help you wake up and realize that the decisions you make usually lie in some belief system in your subconscious mind that you can then deliberately create new belief systems so you can create a better life, be it finances, relationships, health stories, whatever. I'm here to help you do that. And so when you take the blame, that's why I called it blaming God. When you take the blame away from God and you just take the responsibility and even stop blaming the other person, and you start just taking responsibility and know and trust that everything you've been through will benefit you later. That is the goodness of God. It doesn't matter the horrible situation you've ever been in your life, whether it's been a 25-year marriage and that person's no longer with you for whatever reason, you can emerge a better person, a stronger person, a more faithful person. Whatever happens to you in life, you can, and it can be the silver lining. There can be the pearl of wisdom. There can be something greater and better that happens as a result of the pain that you went through. I know the great sages of the world, be it Buddhists or any kind of monk, even Hindu, swamis, priests, preachers, it doesn't matter what religion, they all say the same thing, that bring it on when you're in the tribulation, because what that's doing is it's strengthening your faith. It's giving you wisdom that you didn't have before. It's really elevating your consciousness. We learn through the trials. Now, if we can learn through the happy times, that'd be great. But most of us don't. Most of us just, enjoy the happy times, which is wonderful. But it's during the challenges that we become the people that we're meant to be. So, if you're going through a challenge and you need some help with this, if you need help with your faith, if you need help with some belief systems and mindsets, I can promise you everybody has beliefs or mindsets that can be shifted, adjusted, and create new ones so that you can have the life that you want. You can have those wonderful relationships. Reach out to me. I have tons of free resources. I'm available to you. If you'd like to make an appointment, go to www.askcoachtheresa.com. But email me your questions or PM me your questions, your comments, any subject matter that you'd like for me to cover. I'm there for you. I love you guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you Monday.